The film and military historian whose book, Guts and Glory, is recognized as the definitive study of the relationship between the military and movie industry, Lawrence Suid. Lawrence, thanks so much for coming in. Let me ask you about this arc. How does it start, this relationship between the military and Hollywood, and where are we at now?
Well, it started as early as 1910. Hap Arnold was up in Long Island at an air show, and a director asked him to fly his plane in front of the cameras. Arnold liked it so much he became friendly with people in Hollywood and was always helping them to get movies made. And so that's how it starts. The problem I got in was, how do you explain Vietnam? We had no business being in the war, and then finally a light bulb struck. The fact was that Americans had never seen the United States lose. And therefore, when Lyndon Johnson said, you know, light at the end of the tunnel, they believed him. So the question was, how did they create that? And they created by making movies. So up until Vietnam and really John Wayne in 1968, you had all positive portrayals of the American military.
Including Green Beret was also,
yes.
Yeah.
And it was actually a better movie than people give it credit for. But he made it because he wanted to help Lyndon Johnson sell Vietnam.
You know, the interesting thing, William Safire, the author and journalist, once said that the audience is entitled to know what is history and what is twistery. Yes. I'm sure you've heard that expression.
Yes.
How much is twistery that we're watching? How much is history?
If we look at Saving Private Ryan, everyone thinks it's a wonderful movie, except that it could never have happened, because Private Ryan is a paratrooper, lands 15 miles inland. He could not have seen Omaha Beach or everything in that movie. So it's twisted, as you might want to say.
Is that a common thing that happens in these films, would you say?
Yeah, even this newest one, Monument Men, there's several write articles about it, that it was many more people involved in these seven, et cetera, et cetera. If given a choice between fact and fiction, most filmmakers take fiction.
You know, Oliver Stone says, and he's been a critic of a lot of these films, says that they're basically recruitment posters. In many respects, some of the films are, aren't they?
But not intentionally. And the Pentagon will tell you that they have no way of evaluating the recruitment that comes from showing a movie.
There are some filmmakers who start down this path working with the Pentagon, but then feel like they're trying to mold or shape the story in a way that they don't appreciate, and then they break off with them. That does happen.
Well, yeah, but in the old days, the people in the film industry had been in the military, and they had an obligation to show it the way it was. It's only after Vietnam that you can't make a happy movie about Vietnam, and therefore you sort of pull away from it for that reason, if that explains.
So when you see the movies from the, you know, Apocalypse Now and some of these, they tend to have a more of an anti-war kind of message.
People, including the movies, said, hey, wasn't the fault of the soldiers, and therefore what you get now, these soldiers coming home from Iraq and Afghanistan are treated much more favorably, because it is perceived, you know, that the Pentagon, but not Hollywood, is selling the fact that war is sometimes necessary.
Well, Lawrence Suid, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for coming in. Certainly appreciate it.